It's Late Night Lori from Lori's Little Bit of Crafting. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United States. Those of you who craft with me know that. Let me get my devices up so I can watch to see if folks are joining me live, and I can try to keep up with the comments. All right, we got one ready. And all right, we're ready to go on both devices. So welcome. If you are new to my channel, welcome. Let me know where you're joining from. And let me know whether you're familiar with Stampin' Up! Products, if you do a different kind of paper crafting, if you do any kind of crafting. I do a bunch of things, but here I basically do just the Stampin' Up! Projects. So I'm going to do a few quickie announcements and hopefully people start jumping on live with me. So Stampin' Up! Is in the process of this first ever Black Friday sale. Things have sold out. A lot of things have sold out. They had a bunch of adhesives marked way down. They had trimmers marked down. They had trimmer blades marked down, and all of those are currently out of stock. There are still alcohol blends available, and these are 40% off. They come in 2-packs, so you get a light shade and a dark shade. These are great alcohol blends to work with. So there's a brush tip and there's a bullet tip. I'm going to have to go through and just make sure I don't need to do another order for more. But this is going on until December 1st. All right. December 1st also starts our Cyber Monday sale. Hello, Nicole. You've not been around for a little bit. Welcome back. Or at least you've not been commenting lately. So December 1st through the 9th, you can save on prepaid Paper Pumpkin subscriptions. If you are already a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, make sure you go into your account, suspend your December one, because when you buy the prepaid, it has to process a December one under the new prepaid. So unless you want multiple kits, make sure that you go in and suspend that. Let me know if you've got any questions. Linda, welcome. Susan, welcome. So you've been working relief at school, huh? So are you a teacher, administrative? And is your last name pronounced Blowers? Or I look like Flowers is how I look at it. I don't think I've ever asked before. The other new thing that's coming up is December 2nd. Stampin' Up! Is starting a new product of the month. And how it works is every month there's going to be an exclusive product. It might be designer series paper. It might be a stamp set. It might be an embellishment. But when you place a qualifying order, which is $75 or more in the United States, before tax and shipping, you have the option of adding the product of the month to your cart for an additional $5. So it's rumored that the December product of the month is going to be a pack of designer series paper. Education assistant, good for you. But that can be very challenging. So thank you for that. So you can only purchase one product of the month each month for that specific month. This is while supplies last only. So once they're gone, they're gone. Hello, Steph. Thanks for popping in. Where was I? Lost my train of thought there for a second. So let's say in December, you didn't think you wanted whatever the product of the month was. January comes along and there's still some December product of the month left. And you're thinking, I do kind of like that. I've seen some cute projects with it. I want to order it now. You can. So if there's a previous month that still has product left, you can purchase it. But if you also want that current month, you have to make a separate qualifying order. All right. So you can get multiple products of the month, but only one per each month, if that makes sense. So if you've got questions, shoot me a message. All right. Don't forget about this 12 Days of Crafting Advent Calendar. This is intended as a Christmas gift for somebody who you really like. Hi, Juju. Welcome. This is intended for a gift. So when you gift it to somebody on Christmas, then they open one door a day for the 12 days of Christmas. And I kind of did an inventory, and I've used all of these. I didn't wait. I've played with this. So I've got past videos if you want to check out some of the projects we did. I think we did it for like 11 or 12 days. So there's dies in here. There's DSP in here. There's glitter dots. There's labels and ephemera. There's masks and just a bunch of stuff. All right. So this is a great kit, I think. And we made, I can even show you a bunch of the things that we made quick with it. So here's one of the cards we made. Here's another one. Here's a tag that we made, another card. I think this is one of my favorites. I made a Faker Shaker card. We made a box of cards. We made another box of cards. So it's a really versatile all occasion kit. It's not a Christmas set. It's not a Christmas collection. Okay. So that's available in my online store as well. So Zippy, welcome Zippy. Tanya, Bonnie, hello everybody. Yeah, I was hanging around with Juju and I wanted to make sure that I got on here before midnight. And I forgot to say that I was coming live on Friday, November 28th. And it was a couple minutes before midnight, I swear. So I have my hands on the new mini catalog for Stampin' Up! That's going to go live January 6th. I can't show the inside because that's against Stampin' Up! Rules. But know that there's a lot of fun things in here. And there's also going to be some new online exclusive things. So I think that's all of my announcements. And Juju and crew, this is the Tippy Cow that I was talking about. It's a rum drink. Linda knows about Tippy Cow. But it comes in bigger bottles. This is just a little itty bitty one. This works good like in hot cocoa. But I don't think you can get this everywhere, but it's available in Wisconsin. So look up Tippy Cow. It's a yummy drink. All right, let's get down to business. So I am part of a demonstrator group, and we share different projects. Bonnie, you've never heard of it. Well, you know, if you're not from Wisconsin, you might not know, but Linda does. See, Linda knows. It comes in mint. It comes in orange and vanilla and chocolate. And around the holidays, it also comes in a peppermint. So they're all good. Ask me how I know. And I'm not a big drinker, but they're very good. So I have them from time to time. So anyway, I am part of a demonstrator group, and those of you that are on my team have access to that as well. And we share projects that we're making so that other people can get ideas as well. And I am going to have a go at a star fun fold card. And this is from a gal in Nova Scotia, Simply Serene with Tina. She did this card, but it's designed as a 5x7 card. And our cards are 4 1/4 by 5.5, typically for our regular envelopes. So I had to play with the measurements a little bit. So you can see that I did kind of mock one up here a little bit. And I'm just going to kind of walk you through what we need to do. All right. So in fact, I should probably get another piece of, I think I'm going to do a different color from the shaded spruce. I don't know if I like that shaded spruce. Hi, Yuta. Do you like the shaded spruce or not? I think I'm going to go get a garden green because I don't know if... I think I'll get garden green. Hang on. And Bonnie, what measurement is an A2? Are these the A2, the 4.5 by 5 1/4? No, 4 1/4 by 5.5. I think those are A2, right? Because A4, I don't know. I have it written down somewhere, but I don't have those committed to memory. We're going to try garden green or mossy meadow. Mossy meadow might look good too. Thank you, Bonnie. I know I hear people say A2 and A4, and I'm thinking, well, I do 4 1/4 by 5.5. So anyway, so with this card, what we do is we start with just a base. So we're going to have like a post card. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this down to 4 1/4 by 5.5. All right. So if you want to craft along with me, find some coordinated colors. That's already at 5.5. All right, so A2. So this is an A2 card. All right. And I'm going to trim this one down to 4 1/4 by 5.5 also, because I don't know what color we're going to feel like doing. Okay. So you'll just need a base for whatever card you want. And there are some variations that we can do too. I'm not going to do those tonight, but she showed a couple of different variations. So I'll give you the lowdown on that. So then we also need some designer series paper. All right. And we don't need very big pieces, but we need 6 of them. And we need 6 that are 4 by 4 1/4. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take my designer series paper and I'm going to cut it at 4. So this will get me 2 of them. I'm going to cut it at 4. This will get me number 3 and 4. And then I'm going to, this one's already at 4. All right. Before I cut these down to 4 1/4, I want to do some scoring on these because I'm going to get 2 out of a strip. And I don't want to have to score 6 times if I can score 3 times, right? So work smarter, not harder. So on one of these, I'm going to score at every inch. So I'm going to score at 1 inch. And don't score so hard that you break your paper because that will make you sad. All right, 2 inches and 3 inches. And then I'm going to go ahead and cut this at 4 1/4. 4 1/4. And I'm going to cut another one at 4 1/4. And then this piece I don't need. All right. I could have cut it at 8.5 first. You were sad a lot before you learned about A2 or postage. Juju, I don't know what you were sad about before you learned it. So anyway, we could have trimmed this to our 8.5 and then not had this piece scored, but I didn't think about it at the time. Oh, scoring double and saving time? Yeah. All right. So you have 2 that are scored at every inch. The last 4 we're going to score. Let me get rid of my cutting blade so I don't cut it by mistake because this is the last sheet I have of this stuff. We're going to score it on the 1/2 inch. So I'm going to score it a 1/2 inch. I'm going to score it 1.5 inches. 2.5 inches. And 3.5 inches. So I want to have a 1/2 inch on each side and then an inch in between. And now we'll cut these at 4 1/4. Part of why I'm doing it this way is for me, because 4 inches and 4 1/4 inches, and this is extra, sometimes, about not scoring so hard, yeah. Sometimes this looks like the same size, and I don't want to score on the wrong end. So for me, it was easier to remember to score when it's longer because I want to score on the side that's got the 4 inches. I want the 4 inches up at my stop. All right. So if I cut this one at 8.5 because I want 4 1/4 and 4 1/4, now this piece isn't scored, you know, yay. I don't need it anymore anyway. But we might emboss on it or something, we'll see. So now I've got this 4 inch side. I'm gonna go ahead and score it at a 1/2 inch. If I can line this up right. I'm gonna score it at a 1/2 inch, 1.5 inches, 2.5 inches, and 3.5 inches. Yeah, I like to score, hopefully so I don't mess myself up because I don't like wasting the paper. I mean, I don't mind playing with it and figuring out something new, but to just do it because I messed up because I was being stupid, that I don't care for so much. All right, so this we've got, this is not the same size as the others. I might have messed up after all. Did I mess up? So we've got 1/2, 1/2, 1/2, 4 inches, 4 inches. I must have messed up anyway because this is the wrong size. Oh, good job, Lori. All right. See? What did I do? Well, I'm going to use this one that I had left over because this is exactly what I need. Who knows what I did? All right. Let's go back. These are the ones, I'm just going to score these. I'm just going to fold them. So I want 4 that have the little 1/2 inch like feet on them. I probably tossed it over here. No, that's a 1/2 one. Who knows? Yeah, that's the one that I tossed, I think. But we're using it. We're fine. It'll be fine. You've heard me say that before. All right. So we've got the 4 that have the little 1/2 inch legs on them. Oh, and this one's too long. That must be maybe where I messed up. So we'll do this one 4 1/4. There. I probably cut that 8.5 down wrong. I probably cut it at like 4 1/4 or something. See, I should have just done it the way I was doing it. All right, so anyway, here's the 4 I need for that. And then we have 4, or we have 2 rather. I'll put that one back. That are just at our 1 inch. Hopefully I didn't mess everybody up. All right, so here's our 2 pieces that we've scored. I'm gonna get these out of the way too. That we've just scored at every inch. All right. So should we do, I can get rid of this too. And let's get rid of this as well for now. All right. So now we need to decide, are we going to, let me move this down a little bit. Are we going to use the garden green or the mossy meadow? What do you think? The darker green or the lighter green? I feel like I should have Jeopardy music or something playing. Darker, lighter, lighter. All right. Oh, darker. Lighter, darker, lighter, darker. All right, we're gonna go here. We're gonna have this postcard landscaped, all right? And what I'm going to do is fold these pieces so that just that 1/2 inch one is lined up. Okay, you with me? And I'm gonna glue it onto here. All right, so I just want that 1/2 inch folded under, and everything else can lay like this. Okay, so I'm gonna get my glue. Bonnie for the tiebreaker. Oh, now we're on darker. All right, sorry, Juju. We'll do another one. Good thing I looked. There's a delay. Lighter, darker, darker. I think Juju does it just to make it interesting. All right, so I'm gonna put glue on our little 1/2 inch flap. And remember, I need to have it folded so that the folded edge is onto here. So what I like to do is take my cardstock, put it flat on the table. Then I can put this piece flat on the table and line them up so that they're pretty straight. And then I don't have to fight with it quite so much. Okay. All right, we'll blame YouTube. That's fine. All right, so now if we were to open it up, this is what it would be like, right? So what I want to do is just fold this in a little bit, and I'm going to put glue again on this little 1/2 inch piece. Okay. And then I'm going to show you another way to do this in a minute. I found 2 ways that seem to work equally well. It's just what you like to do better. Hi, Bon Bon. All right. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to lay this like this, and I'm going to fold this over. So I've done it at, I've got a 1/2 inch here, 1 inch, 2 inches. So I'm folding that one over. So I've just got another 1.5 inches. And then I'm just going to fold this over right on top of there. You don't like the darker, but it'll work. All right, so here's what we've got. And what I've done is made a little box here, right? And there's no overlap. These are just butted against each other, all right? So now I'm gonna just kind of fold this over, and I'm gonna take another one that's got the 1, 2, 3, 4 score lines. So we've got the 2 1/2 inches. Does this card style have a name? It is a Star Fun Fold card. All right. And here's, if you want to do a little screenshot. Oh, I got a tulip mess here. So here is the card base, the card stock, and then you need DSP, 6 of them that are 4 by 4 1/4. And on the 4-inch one, I did my designer series paper because it's 12 inches. I cut 4-inch strips, and you'll use 1 sheet. All right. When I had those 4-inch strips, I scored one piece at 1 inch. I don't even have a little pointer here. I scored at 1 inch, 2 inches, 3 inches. You need 2 of those. All right. So score at 1, 2, and 3 on 2 of the pieces. On the other 2 pieces that are 4 inches wide by 12, I scored at a 1/2 inch, 1.5 inches, 2.5 inches, and 3.5 inches. So I didn't write my little score lines here. So 1/2 inch on each side, 1 inch, 2 inches, and then 3, right? 2.5, 1.5, 2.5, and 3.5. There we go. All right. I'll forget this by next year, so you're good. Well, you know, you can always come back and say, hey, or put a note in your phone calendar and just look up Lori's Little Bit of Crafting from November 28th, and you'll see the card. So let's go back to business here. We are now going to take the next piece that's got these 1/2 inch ones, and we are going to, let me think. Let me think. We're going to go like this. We're going to butt this fold right up to the other fold. So this box, this is going to get butted right up into there. All right. But we're going to put glue on here. How soon we forget. I just did this card like a couple of hours ago, but I had to modify it from the instructions that I had because of the measurements. In Canada, they must do the different size cards. It was designed as a 5x7 card anyway. All right. So I'm going to lay this in here and I'm going to push it right up to the other edge there. And I'm going to just push that right down on top of there. All right. So now that's on there. And now I can do the same thing as we did on the first half. I'm going to put some glue here. So the one that I'm doing is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, which Bonnie assured me was an A2 card. Ukraine does bigger. I have a friend who does 5x7 cards-ish, or she might just take, yeah, I think she does like 5x7 inch cards. They're bigger. So now what I'm doing is I'm folding this over again. So I've got this inch of the backside, and I'm just going to push this over. All right, I'm going to push that right over onto the glue. Hopefully this did not work. Yes, this did work. Whew! I thought I messed it up. All right, so now we've got 2 little diamonds. Okay. Wow, that was a close call. And now I'm going to take this one that is only scored at the inch marks, 1, 2, and 3 inches. All right, and I'm going to again push this up to this edge. All right, so that's going to go there, and I'm going to put glue here. Yeah, mine are all 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. If I'm doing a card. All right, so this we're going to lay right in there. And we're going to just push this right over onto there. All right. And I'm just a little bit off. It's on there. It'll be fine. And then this one we can just fold in. Fold in. Let me think. Maybe I did this wrong. I did it wrong. I'm going to fix this. This should have gone in the middle. All right, we're going to work on this side. We'll just pretend that I did this one right. All right, now let's do the other side because we have to do this on both sides because it's going to look like this. Just skip that first part of my directions. All right, it's going to look like this. All right, so what I'm going to do is, and you could fix it too. I got to make sure I don't use one that I need to use. So we've got those 2 and this one and this one. I need this one. I will show you how I'm going to fix this. I'm going to cut this at 1.5 inches. I got a little ahead of myself because I wasn't watching my instructions. Bonnie, you crochet an ornament every year, and then Bon, you do round card bases and make them look like ornaments. That's cute. All right, so all I'm going to do for this one is I'm just going to add an extra tab. And we were trying not to add extra tabs so that there's not extra bulk on here. But because Lori messed up, it is what it is. So I'm just going to put this one on here. I will try to do the next side correctly. And it'll still look good. Hopefully. All right. So now, when I put this here, yeah, we'll be good. All right, so now I'm going to put glue on here because I had to make that extra tab, I think. All right, now that's going to fold there. All right, so this is what it should have looked like. All right, and actually that needs to get glued on here. Boy, I really made a mess of this. I'll do it right on the other side. All right, so I guess I should let the glue dry. Oh, everybody's dropping out on me now because I messed up there. This is how this should look. All right, so let's go ahead and do the same concept on the other side, but I'll do it right on this one. So we're going to go ahead here and we're just going to burnish these. We're going to put glue on the little 1/2-inch flap and we're going to attach it down to the bottom of here. So again, I like to put my cardstock down on the table because then I know it's straight. And then I'm pretty much lined up. Okay. And then we're going to go ahead and put this down. I'm going to put some glue on here. And when I hold this down, I can take this flap and I can still press it over just like I did on the first side. So that part was all good. All right. And that's how that should look. So now what I need to do is on this one, let me give this a little bit of thought. I think I did this one next. Yes. So now I'm going to take the one that's scored at every inch. And I'm going to lay this in here. And I'm going to put glue on here. And hopefully I don't mess it up again. All right, let's see if I'm here. Hold on to that piece. So if I take the one that's got the 1/2-inch flaps, I'm going to do the 1/2-inch flap. I'm going to turn it over just like I did the first time when I turned it over there. I'm going to turn this one over here. That's what I did wrong. And that's going to get glued to the base this way. All right. And now what I can do is put some glue on this other 1/2-inch flap and fold that over onto it again. There we go. This is how it should have been. So I should have 2 free-floating boxes here. So now what I'm going to do with this one is, I've got glue on here already. I'm going to put this one, and I'm getting glue on my fingers, and I'm going to butt it up to one of the boxes. It worked out so nice when I did my little prototype piece. When I did this one, it worked out perfect. All right, and then I'm going to take this one and I'm going to put glue on here. All right, and we can just go right like that. All right, so there is our star. All right. Phew. I've seen those rocker cards, Yuta. So there's our star. Fun fold. So now what we need to decide is, what are we going to put in here? All right. So what I did on my first card was I took a layer of the cherry cobbler, and that layer is, so if the base is 3.5 by 4 1/4, that's what's left here, 3.5 by 4 1/4. So this layer I did 3 1/4, so I took it down 1/4 inch by 4, so that I put there. So let's go ahead and glue this in place. All right. And then my next layer, I took down 1/8 of an inch. When I took it down 1/4 of an inch, it had too much border for my liking. So I did 3 1/8 by 3 7/8. And I put just a nice little sentiment right in the middle. All right. Yeah, that's Cherry Cobbler. One of my favorites. I love that one. We used to have one that was very similar that was Mary Merlot. I liked that one too. But Cherry Cobbler is a very rich color, I'd say. And then I'm just going to have that 1/16 of an inch border around there. All right. And what I used for my sentiment, the warmest winter wishes, is from the Delicate Pines, which is what this paper coordinates with, which is also what the dies coordinate with. All right. So this card will fit in our envelopes. Okay. But I want to have something more on here. So what I did was, on this card, I just took a circle with my circle dies, and I'll get a different color. I think that was just my, here. The Stylish Shapes, all right? You love red, huh, Bonbon? So I think this one. So let's do a garden green piece. I need to go get another piece of garden green. We're going to do some garden green. No, that was Mossy Meadow, right? I think that might have been Mossy Meadow after all. Yeah, that's Mossy Meadow. So let's go ahead and do a circle. I'm just cutting that down so we can get it in the mini cut and emboss machine. Hello, Linda Dickinson. Well, you can't answer. It's just I might not read it in time. All right. So here's this one. And what I thought I would do is just put it on the inner piece of the star so that it would float a little bit, but if the card was on display, it would still show. All right. So I'm going to put that right about in there. Okay. So I'm just going to put my thumb here and I'm going to put a little glue here. And I kind of want it centered on there. Do you add note to explain how to set up? Like to set up the card? There we go. All right, so there's that. Let me get these out of the way. And then what I did was I took a piece of this designer series paper and the snowflake. So here's the snowflake from the set. So that's this one. And there is a die that cuts it out. Okay. But I embossed it because I thought that would look nice. Now, I don't like this nearly as well. This is the shaded spruce. I don't like that nearly as well embossed with this mossy meadow. Who agrees? I need to find another piece. Well, thank you. I'm glad you like that. So let's see what else might work for a snowflake. Oh, I wonder if we could do the dark snowflake and the circle wouldn't even show. I could always take the circle off, but it's a little late for that now. We could have put that snowflake on there. Or I could just emboss on it. Let's see what else we have. Let's move these over here. I could just emboss a snowflake on here too. I wonder, let's take a look. That might be kind of pretty on there actually, because it lines up with the lines on there. I think we'll give that a whirl. Let's emboss that. And I made sure I've got my white. Yes, for the snowflake, this big one, Bonnie? Not on here. I don't know if I'll be able to get this off now. Let me get my heat gun. You like this one better? That does look nice, doesn't it? It's hot on my fingers. Okay. All right, so let's see where this, if I put it like this, I think I can do it right like that, and it'll still cover up the sentiment, and I'll cover up my glue for the most part. There's even enough residue there. What do we think of that? Now that I've misshapen my little star here, oh, I think I might have heated up some glue maybe. You get the idea. All right, so that'll go there. That covers up that. And then I'm gonna put some gems on here, I think. Do we need a white snowflake embossed, do you think? Emboss it on there. I could always emboss it. If we don't like it, I just won't stick it on. But I also want to color some of these rhinestones, and I'm going to do that in the cherry cobbler as well. We'll just let those set for a second. Gotta have bling. All right, so let's go ahead and try to emboss this just for kicks. Let's destaticize it. No, Linda, no snowflake? No embossed snowflake? We don't have to glue it on right away. We can see what we think. Oh, I guess I should stamp it on here first, huh? All right, so we'll line that up. And then we'll add a little bit of powder on here. And so that my fingers don't get all heated up. Now, if you've crafted with me before, you know I like to heat it from the back because then I can see everything change right away. Shazam. Let that cool off a little bit. Get our little Betsy out here. We'll just see how this looks. I love my little machine. All right, so this could go on here, which kind of brings in the white from that back layer. Yay or nay? You fussy cut it. Are you kidding me? Juju did fussy cutting earlier so that I wouldn't have to. That's my story and I'm sticking with it. All right, so we're good with the little white snowflake on there then? I know. Why fussy cut? So we'll go ahead and we'll still put the gems on here. If there's a die or a punch, I'm all over it. I only fussy cut when I have to. All right. One big clear one. Where? You think just one clear one in the middle, not the cherry cobbler? We could do that. Fussy cutting's fun for most people. Are you kidding me? I do know plenty of people that like to fussy cut, so if that's your jam, go for it. Right? You do you. Yeah, it's not often that I find it relaxing, but every once in a while. So one big one. That does look nice. Marty, thank you. So do we want one big one in the clear, or I could do one big one in the cherry cobbler too. Or that idea with the little ones. What do we think? Thanks for joining us, Marty. I appreciate it. So there's that. So now we just need to decide what are we going to do for our snowflake. The big clear one. All right, decision made. I am going to find a dimensional because I think that needs to be maybe up on a dimensional. I think that'll work. And then I think I'm going to offset it so that the high points are not at the same level. Does that make sense? How fun is that? So, like I said, this can go in an envelope. Whatever I did with that envelope, where did I put it? So it'll fit in our normal envelopes. All right, so it is a little bulky. Just make sure you push it down all the way, or make your cut just a little bit smaller than 4 1/4. But I usually, because especially since I've got a big gem on here, I put another layer. Like I would do a layer like this, and normally I would emboss it. And then I just put it in my card this way so that it protects the card and my gem and it doesn't go through the envelope. All right, if it's more than 1/4 inch, the post office wants more postage. So I've been told that the trimmer slot is 1/4 inch. And if it goes through the trimmer slot, it's fine. This is hanging up. So this will probably need more postage if I do it that way. Let me get my other device. This is from the Country Hive. Now that goes through. So I think this might be a truer 1/4 inch. That is a truer 1/4 inch. So the slot on the trimmer is narrower. All right, so that should have regular postage unless it gets to way too much. Okay. So I think I would actually make a few of these. But one of the alternatives on here, because I have family who would love this, I wouldn't do it as necessarily a mass production, but for those few family members that will appreciate the work that went into this, and then to see it on display, and then just that warm wishes on there. You could also put another layer of white on here to write whatever message you want so that it doesn't show through here, right? But I thought this was a fun little fold card, fun fold. Did you say if you explain how to set up? Like how to set up to whoever's receiving it? This is a good one to show off DSP. And it's a good way to use up your DSP also, because it uses up a whole sheet. So Yuda, would I explain how to set it up? Probably, I might, yeah, because the family that I send it to, they're not card makers, so I would have to let them know. Yeah, Linda, Forever stamps will work unless it's over 1 ounce. And if it's too thick. Forever stamps don't cover the extra postage that the post office wants. So the other thing is, you know, does this have enough on it? I could put, there's some other little snowflakes in here. And there's some other sets that have snowflakes too. But you could make some other little snowflakes. And in fact, I die cut the bigger one because I thought I might use it. So this makes like a pine bough snowflake. But I would have to do the smaller one. There's a smaller one also, because the bigger one just takes up too much real estate and it won't fold right then to go in the envelope. You know, like you could put it here, but then when you open up your card, your snowflake is not going to lay flat. Enough for mailing, but extra if hand delivered. Bonnie, you do extra ounce stamps, yeah. Because it shouldn't be a whole nother stamp for the extra postage. It's extra, but it's not like a whole stamp. All right, so you could do something like that, you know. It looked really cool. I die cut this out of the Designer Series paper on the back side. That's a snowflake cut out of that paper. Okay. Do I need to do another one to show the real way to put it together without messing up on the first half? Or are we good with one? I'll put this back over here. There's a template for those stamps that has a slot that you can use to see if regular stamps will work or not. There's a template. There's a template or a table? I usually go into like Pirate Ship and weigh my stuff and see if it needs extra postage. I try not to have it need extra postage, quite honestly. Okay, so here's that screenshot or the notes. A kitchen scale works, yeah. And I have one in my kitchen that I use for my sourdough that I don't want to share with my stamping room, so I have a separate one in my stamping space. That's actually a postal scale because it's got the nice little flap on it, so if I've got packages in that too, it accommodates those. Oh, the template for finding out if it's more than, so if it's too thick. Right, Linda, I get it. Is it like a cardboard one or is it plastic? I think you told me about those. I forgot about that. It's plastic, huh? Cool. All right, so this would be a card that's good for any season, not necessarily just for Christmas. I just happen to want to use up some of this wintry, oh, you made your own, Linda? Yeah. I just wanted to use up some of this wintry paper, because we're getting a snowstorm, apparently. I'm not looking forward to it. Like, how much, Linda, are we supposed to get? Like 6 to 9 inches of snow. I just thought this was really cute. So I don't know if I'll be able to finish this one now because I might be out of the size designer series paper I need because that one's too short. That one's a scrap. That one's a scrap. You girls are all prepared with your postage requirements. You have snow already, Bon Bon? Yeah, it's pretty, but I'm not a kid anymore. I would rather not have snow. Luckily, I mean, we have a very long driveway, but my husband has a plow on his ATV, so he goes out and plows, so I don't usually have to clear any snow anymore. Oh, it's raining by you. I would take the rain, as long as it's not freezing rain. All right, so there's one. I'm going to see if I have more paper for this one. I might be able to scrap it out. Okay, Linda, so you use the UPS or USPS measurements and made your own. Are you? Oh, purple snow, that's from your flowering trees. Oh, that's funny, Nicole. You had me going there for a second. It's like, what kind of chemicals are in your air? Yeah, when we go, my husband and I went to Washington, D.C. It's probably been about 10 or 11 years, but I wanted to see the cherry trees in bloom. I think they're cherry trees. Yeah. The cherry blossoms. And that makes like this pink carpet. It's very pretty too, yeah. I'm sure. Are you laughing, Linda, at the my inquiry as to what kind of chemicals they've got in their air? All right, so let's see if I can get this done right. So, because I need to do this one other side. So I need a 4 by 4 1/4. So this is 4 1/4. And then cherry blossoms, yeah, I thought they were gorgeous. And I got some really pretty pictures too. And it might sound strange, but I have one of them in my upstairs bathroom because I have that all, I've got a shower curtain that's got like a big cherry branch on it. Australia has all kinds of different kangaroos, koalas, kookaburra, yeah. Yeah, well, I'm supposed to actually go into Racine tomorrow at 1 o'clock. So that's like a half-hour drive for me. It's into our Lake Michigan. We live in a county that's on one of the Great Lakes. And the snow is usually worse closer to the lake. So we'll see how that goes. We will see how that goes. So let me find one more piece, and that's going to be 4 by 4 1/4, and I'm going to score it every inch. I just cut it. All right, let's see if I have another piece. Well, I might be out of luck. That was like the last piece I had. And I should have scored and I sliced. Let's see what I can do here. So, got those two. It's always a struggle. We'll make it work. 4 1/4. Get rid of my slicer. We do have bears in the northern hemisphere. You'd rather have crocodiles, sharks, snakes? They can't open the doors, right? Some of those bears are pretty scary. Well, we've been out west, and you have to watch out for like the buffalo or the bison, whatever you want to call them, ramming your vehicle. If you get too close into their area, they're not happy with that. I'm just trying to do one more fix on this card. We'll see if she can pull it off. Okay. Glue. Well, we only see the bears that are on videos that are probably artificial intelligence, right? Opening doors and climbing in. Did everybody have a good Thanksgiving? Those of you that recognize Thanksgiving? I know we in the U.S. do. You had one in your truck? Would you leave the truck door open that the bear didn't have to open the door? Or you just got a smart bear that actually did open the door? I'd want to try to lock him in there, I guess. I don't know. Maybe not. Get out of my car. How do you get them out of your car? Like, if they want to be there, they want to be in there, right? All right, well, that is good to know. They do kind of tell you to make a lot of noise when you're like out west. Let's see if I can do this one here. We'll just keep this over here so we can see how pretty that is. Linda Dickinson, that's nice. How many grandkids do you have? You buy a new car. Right, Juju? All right, so I'm going to go ahead. This is the one that's got the 1/2-inch things. So for this one, I'm just going to show you a little different how to do it. Let's see if I can do this one right. It was in and out early in the morning, only left muddy footprints behind, huh? Wow. No, thank you. I know, like, when we went to Tennessee and through the Smoky Mountains and that, they have quite a bit there. Five grandchildren, huh? Lucky you. So we have one and a bonus. My husband's brother has 3 now. They just had 2. Both of their sons' wives had babies within a couple of months, and 2 bonus ones. Oh, 15, Linda. Yeah, wow. I forget how many you have, Linda. And then his sister has 4. So not as many as you ladies have. All right, so this I'm going to lay it flat. So I glued on that 1/2-inch strip. I've got my 2 inches. I'm just going to pop that over there. And then I'm going to take the other one that's got the 1/2-inch. And I am going to do it. It's got to be done this way. All right. So I'm going to put glue on these 2 1/2-inch pieces. The grandchildren are just such a blessing. You know, and I think part of it is because when we had our own children, we were so stressed about the parenting and trying to do everything right. And now as grandparents, we're past all that, and we can, and for me, I'm in a better position financially to spoil the grandchildren, right? So I have both of these 1/2-inch strips with glue, and I'm just going to lay them both down at the same time, because that saves me from having to futz with that. So here's my 2 kind of floating squares. And then this one, we can put this one right into there. And I ended up just gluing a couple of pieces together. So this I'm going to lay this in here and push that over. And then this one I'll lay in, and I'll push this other side over. Yeah, much less discipline pressure. And I didn't, as a kid, I didn't spend a lot of time with my grandparents. I mean, I spent some, but not like our granddaughter spends with us. She spends a lot of time with us, just because she likes to have sleepovers with us, and we enjoy all that. So there we go. There's another one. So that one went a little smoother. But then I'll have to put layers on here. I didn't really like the old olive, even though the old olive is in here. I didn't care for that so much. So I think what I could do is put this snowflake in here. Maybe put it together. Let's just put some glue on here. I'm getting there. There we go. Yeah, I just love this. Like I said earlier, I did this out of the back side, out of the designer series paper. So if we put this here, I could glue that in there. And then that could be like the front of my card. And then I could put my piece here to write my little message. Linda, thanks for coming in. So I'll try to get creative and finish this one up too, because I really liked this ribbon too that goes with this suite of products. So I'm thinking I could do something like this. Put my sentiment piece on the back there. And we could put this on here. And I could even find, let me just cut this down a little bit because I kind of like how that looks. And then we'll do another layer of the white. And that needs to be, forgot what size. Yeah, my husband's daughter was, early 30s? I'm trying to think. She might have been like 29 or 30 when she had hers. So I need to do 3 1/8 by 3 7/8. And then I think I want to get a piece of the cherry cobbler. Oh, this would probably make a pretty base too. Oh, yeah. I think I'm going to hang on to that one. Got a bunch of scraps of this cherry cobbler. So I need 3 1/4 by 4. Okay, that'll work either way. Excuse me. So Nicole, you said you're small and have white hair. You get a lot of the children at school that ask if you have grandchildren. Oh, you look like a nana to them. Nothing wrong with that. 3¼ by 4. I bet they love you. Did I do a flip through of the DSP like for this one? Or for this whole pack? Because I went through this whole pack some time ago when I started working with it. But I only have a couple of full sheets left. A couple of designs is all I have left of the full sheets. So this one's cute. There's a die that cuts out the pine cones. And there's a die that cuts out these little pine bough snowflakes. And then the back side, this one is just like a frosted old olive. And this is a random one. I really like this one. I think this is what maybe I'll use to make that cherry cobbler one. And then that has Pretty Peacock on the back. And I have 3 sheets of those because I combined 2 packs. So this is all I have left of 2 packs of paper of this design. And then there's all of these darker ones. What card did we make with this one? I might have them all set aside. I don't remember. But there was some Pretty Peacock on the back. Oh, this one was cute too with all the snowflakes on the back. The little snowflakes. Those are pretty. But yeah, I went through a lot of this paper. So there is not much left. I know some of the cards I went through and, well, that's how I got this. Because we made that gift card holder. I think I used a bunch of this on the November 17th online class, I think. And then I had a couple of classes too besides what I do here at YouTube. I've got, face-to-face classes. And I use some of that for those as well. So, all right, let's try this again. So, excuse me, if we go like this, we'll put that on the back side. Yes, I could use those for a quilt design. And I did a video on that too. Let me see if I've got one of those handy. Yeah, I don't know where that one went, but I've got a video for a quilt card that I did recently too that just used, I think we did 1¼ inch squares and cut them in half and made a really fun quilt card. So yeah, there's a lot you can do with these little pieces. You can tell I'm not throwing them away. They're in here because I will try to make things out of them. Definitely. And that's why I'm not getting rid of these other pieces where, maybe I scored and didn't score it in the right place. But anyway, so if this is going to be the front of my card, we'll put this on the back, and that's where I'll write my message. I think so, Nicole. If we have 3 layers and adhere them together and add faux stitch marks. I think so. And one of the quilt cards that I did, I ran through an embossing folder so it looked like we had tufted it and everything. So, it works for me. And it's our rules, right? I'm in. So that's just going to have that little 1/16 of an inch border on there. So that'll be the back side. Oh, well, that was silly of me. because I wanted to put my ribbon in there, didn't I? Ugh. See, I get too busy talking. I wanted to put the ribbon under here. I don't know if I can get it in there now at this point. Wait, ribbon. Right, Yuta? Where there's a will, there's a way. We'll see. It's not quite in the center, but start over. All right, so I'll have to cut this shorter, but let's see if we can make it work. See, I'm just using a little spatula end on my take your pick tool. There. The only people that will know will be all of you. All right. Got a little fray hanging here. So there are always oopsies, right? That's how you know it's real art, right? So that one a little crooked. There we go. All right, so let's just drop a little bit of glue on here. And it'll be fine. If I can leave it tucked in there. Okay, a little bit more glue. Ta-da! Right, Marty? It'll be fine. I've said that before, right? I got a bunch of gunk on my glue. Yeah, that's a little bit better. All right. That's right. Yeah, it sometimes takes a while. That's all right. All right, so now we have our snowflake, and do we like the lighter side or the darker side? This is really pretty ribbon though. Very pretty. I will use this for some of my gifts when I do gift wrapping. I do that with the wider ribbons. All right, what do we think? I'm thinking the darker. So now what I need to do is brush some glue on this because I did not use adhesive sheets. Yeah, so I'm going to put the glue on the lighter side. Let me get, I should probably get a clean silicone mat. And we're going to put some glue on here. We'll see if that's enough. And we're going to come here. It's probably not going to be enough. My little basting brush. I know somebody was telling, Bonnie, I think you were telling me to put the glue on my hand, and I've done that too. Thanks for stopping in, Marty. I appreciate it. Feel free to subscribe, like, share. Come back and join us again. Hopefully that'll do it. All right, and I want to lay this. I don't want to rip it because it's pretty delicate. But I want to lay it so that the snowflake goes up and down so that it doesn't hang over the side of my card. There. That's pretty. And then it's got some glimmer in there too from the ribbon. All right, so that would be the star. And then I'd write my message on the back. But I feel like I need something in the middle here. So let's look and see. There's like a poinsettia, or there's a snowflake here. Let's take a look. Here we go. We'll do this little snowflake. And we'll emboss this in white. Juju probably fell asleep. That happens. All right, so let's see. I wonder if I could emboss on gold paper. Do you think that would work? Oh, Juju, you are here. Do you think we could emboss on gold? Would that be too much? Let's try it. Let's see. Oh, wait a minute. What if I embossed in gold? So I could do white on the gold, or I could do gold on, on like this. And then I'll just die cut that. Oh, I think I'll do gold. Let's find the gold embossing powder. All right. Juju's busy. I had glue down on this one. Merry Christmas sentiment for here. We could put a little banner across here so that when it opens, it's on there. I feel like the snowflake needs to be finished though. It seems like it's not quite done. So let's just see how this looks. And this will get die cut. There we go. Now, what did I do with my little die? Okay, it's here somewhere. Did I take it out? No, I didn't even take it out yet. Phew. I know, that magic never gets old, does it, Yuta? There we go. There is just something special about embossing powder. I need to use up this little narrow stuff. It doesn't do a whole lot, so I'm just trying to use it up because I hate to waste it. But it doesn't stick real well. Hello, what happened to your little moniker there, Apple? It's showing a weird configuration there. Oh, I think that looks pretty good. Doesn't that look good with a ribbon? Don't you think? Let's put that up on a dimensional, see how that looks. I'm going to use the dark dimensional, so. We use the black ones because we've got such dark paper. Does that look a little more finished with the gold, do you think? Hopefully I didn't just ruin it. All right, so let me put this die away so I don't lose it. All right. And then let's find a nice little sentiment here. Well, we could do another one that says warmest winter wishes, or I could find one that says Merry Christmas. Because it can't be super big because I don't want it to go flat. I mean, this is pretty big. So this one probably could be as well. Let me see what else I've got here. I know I've got a Merry Christmas somewhere. I just have to find them. Tulips Autumn. I should probably pull my Christmas ones out. Christmas tree. Oh, gingerbread? No, gingerbread man doesn't have Christmas on it. It's a good thing for me to go through these from time to time because I have stamps and I think I'm using them all up. And then, no, this one was actually pretty easy if you don't mind a little modification as we go. I had to fix a couple of things, but it was fine. Watch the second version if you go back for the replay. Watch the second version. Now I know I've got ones that say Merry Christmas. Oh, you know, let's see here. I've got peace, love, and joy, peace on earth. I just need to look in the right place. Here we go. How about Merry Christmas? So let's see if we do, I gotta get rid of some of this debris. If we do, whoops, if we do Merry Christmas, we would probably almost want that on a circle, like I was originally going to do here, like a circle, so that we could have it centered over that snowflake when it's closed. Should we do the Merry Christmas in gold also? Gold embossing? And then die cut it? This has got a little bit of tacky on that snowflake. Just a small banner. Wishing you peace and joy, but that might end up being too long. It won't stand up. We need something that's short enough. Warmest winter wishes would be short enough. Because it's got to be, it can't be a long, it can't be longer than like 3.5. Yeah, it could only be about 3 inches at most, and know that there's only going to be about a 1/2 inch that's going to hang on to here. Yeah, you don't want to cover too much. You're right. Although when it opens up, depending on what you have behind there, this has got a little bit of glue residue here. That's actually the right color, but it doesn't say anything on it. That would be cute too. We could have done that on the inside of there. Do you like that better or the gold one better? I think the gold one, huh? All right, so let's figure out. Red and green would be nice for a card. Yeah, Apple, I'm gonna do this one, not tonight during my live, because we're getting close to the 2-hour mark, actually. Because I started before midnight, my time. But I would like to find, maybe we should just do warm winter wishes with gold. Or the gold one. Or gold embossing. Gold embossing or gold banner with like white. I'm not sure what you mean by the gold one. Gold embossing. All right, so gold embossing And we probably need to do it on the green, do you think, or on white? White, it might not show up as much as we want it to. Gold banner with white. Well, we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Let me get another piece of the mossy metal close here. And let's do, we'll get all the things. So we'll do this. And I don't want to scratch this, so I want to make sure that I'm going in the same direction as the grain. So let's do warm wishes there. And some gold. That looks good. And then some more. Let's get rid of this one because I can't do gold on gold. That won't work. How much snow did they get there? Are they getting the snow now? I should look and see if our snow started falling yet. This gold banner might not emboss quite as well as some of the regular papers because it does have some texture. So it's kind of clinging to some of the powder. Or I should say some of the powder is clinging to it. Well, let's see how it looks. What did I do with my other piece? Oh, here. Whew. I thought I lost it. Thought I messed it up. Oh, I know there was a storm that went through like northern Wisconsin yesterday, and a friend of mine lives about 5 hours northwest-ish from me. And she had anywhere between 6 and 9 inches of snow, depending on how much drifting there was. We're supposed to get a bit. Oh, this is not the right green. I needed the shaded spruce for that one. Oh well, I guess I'll just hang on to this for another project. Oops. There we go. This is affecting the color of the metallic paper. Yeah, embossing on this gold paper is not working very well because it's heating up the paper so much. And then the embossing powder is just spreading. So I don't like how that looks just because all the letters are mushed together. So we may have to try something else with that, because that did not turn out how I expected it to turn out. And I just realized too that I have an adhesive sheet on the back of here, so that might have made a difference too. So we'll maybe try a different piece of gold. Let's see how that does. Let's try this again. I think part of the problem too is that metallic paper is slick and the stamp might have shifted a little bit. Thanks for stopping in, Yuta. I appreciate you hanging out with me. Sleep well. Yeah, I think this is going to do the same thing. Well, Lake Superior is really deep though. Whoop. Well, we'll see how I don't think this is going to work because the S looks like an 8 already. So I'm going to scrap that one. I'll try a plan B. Maybe another time. So where did, oh, this one I need to get the right color paper. Let me get some shaded spruce. There we go. Let's try gold on here. One of these times it's got to work, right? One of these times it'll work. So you, Nicole, I'd be curious to know if that video was for real. Let's just, I'm going to Google it once. Highest waves on Lake Superior. Woo! The highest officially recorded wave on Lake Superior was 28.8 feet, measured by a buoy near Marquette, Michigan. That was in 2017. That is amazing. Other large waves that include the one that sunk the Edmund Fitzgerald was estimated to be between 23 and 26 feet. Yeah, that's pretty big waves. Don't ignore storm warnings when you're on Lake Superior. I think this is going to be the one. Yes, I do. I think that's going to be the one. And I should have had my other light on. I don't know if that makes a big difference or not. So now let's see how we want to trim this. I have these. Will this one be big enough? That one's not big enough. This one is too big, but I can use it and we'll make it work. We can shorten that up, I think. There we go. I guess I need to cut this down a little smaller so it'll fit into my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. There. I hope I have enough room for the flag on this side. We'll see. Yeah, king wave, no kidding. Yeah, I would expect that Australia would have big waves like that because you've got like an ocean. But Lake Superior is an inland lake. It's big and it's deep though. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. We are going to move this die in now, and I've lined it up so it caught the teeth or the holes that are on the piece that ran through first. And let's see if we can get this to work. Hopefully it'll look gorgeous. So far, so good. Beautiful. So now this, I want here because when we stand it up, just like with this one, we can close it here, but when we open it, I don't want the snowflake to be hanging out this way. I want the snowflake to be visible, right? So we're going to have to do the same thing with this and make this visible. All right. Yeah, those waves are crazy. All right, so let's see here. I'm not going to be able to do dimensionals because it'll be too tall. So it's just going to have to go flat right about there. Because I want it attached far enough that it's got something to grip onto. So let's just put some glue along here. And hope for the best. Because I really like that ribbon with this. I think that's very pretty. All right. So there's our Star Fun Fold card, version 2. I don't know what I did with the little directions. They're somewhere. Here we go. So yeah, Star Fun Fold. And I mentioned earlier, this is from a gal in Nova Scotia, Canada, Simply Serene with Tina. She did it as a 5x7 card, and I modified it for our 4 1/4 by 5.5. So there we go. So we've got Warm Wishes. That turned out cute. We should probably put some gems on here somewhere though, shouldn't we? I think we need gems. And this one we put just the one gem. Thank you, Nicole. I think I should put a couple more gems on there. I won't color those. But maybe just like on here. Or maybe I could just put them over here. So we've got 3, and I know this is 4, which usually goes against my better judgment because I like them in odd numbers. But I think since that's just a little with the focal piece, I'm just going to go with the 3 here. Thanks, Bon Bon. So there's that one. I'm going to leave that like that. And then this one, let's find, actually I think I think these cherry cobbler ones might look good because there's those bubbles there. And I think I'm just going to put them on the green part because this is kind of thick, so I'm going to put them over here where it's not so thick. And we'll kind of do similar placement as we did, maybe here. And then I need to find my brush. Get rid of that embossing powder or the embossing buddy. There. Very cool. Fun. Well, thank you everybody for hanging out with me so long. It kind of makes up for last night when I took the night off, I guess. So try it out. So here's our little measurements. So if you want to try to take a screenshot of that, and then these are the measurements for this portion here, or if you want to put it on the back for a message. Okay. So I guess I'll put that one up like that so you can see how it works, and then we'll put that one there. So thank you everybody. I appreciate you hanging out with me. Trying something different. It worked out pretty good, even though I made a couple of little mistakes on it when I was demonstrating, but that's all right. At least you can see that I'm human and I fixed them. So, you know, we talked about mistakes being opportunities for embellishments and using more paper and whatever. So thanks, Juju. Happy sorting your ephemera. Thank you, everybody, for hopping on with me and for hanging out for so long. And until next time, happy crafting.